Hey, this is Dale Calvert. I'd like to welcome you to the Leadership Development Philosophy, putting the pieces of the network marketing puzzle together. It's kind of weird because I recorded this almost 25 years ago, and I'm so excited and happy for you that you've invested in this program. If you have, you're probably pretty familiar with my work, my training, my background within the network marketing profession, I'm guessing. Before we get into this, before we really get into it, my philosophy, my concept of network marketing is if you want to make an extra $200 or $300 a month, there's other businesses you should do. Go sell hammers at the flea market. My philosophy of network marketing from day one, the first time I saw it, is I saw a chance to get out of a job that I could not stand and to be able to work my way up to possibly a six-figure income and not have a boss. That was the appealing factor for me, and that's why I got involved in this profession. I believe that network marketing provides average people with above average desire the opportunity to live a dream that most people can't even comprehend. I believe that if you're willing to do for a short period of time what most people aren't, you can do for the rest of your life what most people can't. I believe that's the value of the business model that we have in network marketing. I don't think it's a few hundred extra bucks here and there. I just don't believe that. So hopefully you feel that way, or you wouldn't have invested in this program. But I also believe that the philosophy in which you build determines ultimately where you're going, where you're headed, what you're going to accomplish. I sincerely believe that your long-term income potential is in direct proportion to one thing. One, the number of leaders that are developed on your team. Product volume comes from leadership. Even if it's somebody that's leading two or three of their friends, or people that are leading a local organization or a statewide organization or a worldwide organization. Leadership moves products. Leadership creates volume. Customers, distributors are a revolving door. They're coming in and they're going out all the time in this profession. It's a revolving door, but developed leadership stays. And I believe that we're in the leadership development business, that the real product in network marketing is not this service or this face group or this diet program or this product, even though it doesn't matter how great the products are. Network marketing products traditionally are superior to most, but the real product is people. And if you build people, people will build the business. That's the philosophy on which I've always worked. I think it's solid. So before we get any further, I would ask you three questions. I don't know if you're just getting started or if you've been around as long as I have, but I would ask you, what is your team building philosophy, yours personally? What is your philosophy? That's the first question. The second question I would ask is, what is the team building or the philosophy of the company? Because there's a lot of companies in the market and they all have a lot of different philosophies. And then the third philosophy that I would ask you is, what is the team building philosophy with other leaders within your company? So think about that. And you might even want to pause the video and think about it. But think about it. What is your team building philosophy? How are you going to maximize your upside potential in network marketing? Because that's what this program is all about. When you take a broad look at the network marketing profession, I believe it's always been this way. But if you look at it, we have 100% theoretically of the people that we can bring onto our team. I believe in the industry, and I wrote about this years ago in a book called Why the Masses of Network Marketers Are Frustrated, Confused, and Don't Have a Clue What They're Doing. That was actually the title of the book. But if you look at it, 70% of the population are going to die broke. 70%. I'm not going to change it. You're not going to change it. Network marketing's not going to change it because they have too many self-limiting beliefs to overcome, or to take, or they aren't having enough people that are telling them you got to reprogram your mind, and they're just going to continue the same pattern that they've always been in, that they've been raised in, and that's just the way it is. 3% of the population say, get out of my way, I'm going to go get it done. And they go get it done. They have an abnormal amount of drive, determination, work ethic. And then 27% of the people are like I was like a high 70%er. But 27% of the people, they're frustrated. They're career frustrated. They look down the road 5 years and they think, my gosh, where am I going? Where am I going to be if I continue doing what I'm doing today? Where am I going to end up? And they're looking for opportunity, and they're looking for direction, and they're looking for some way to break out of the pattern. That's 27% of the population. So in my mind, you have 3%ers, 27%ers, and 70%ers. I figured out early on, before I built anything, but I was able to see that wealth can be created in this profession if you focus on the 27%, because the 3% are going to do what they do, the 70% are going to do what they do. But if you can focus on the 27%ers, I felt like you could just build an empire, and I still do. When we look at the industry today, and you walk into any company and you look at the company, about most of the people, 40-50%, have been involved in the network marketing business model as a distributor for 2 years or less. The other 40-50% have been around, probably about 30-40%, 10 years or more. And the challenge in today's network market, where are all the 3 to 10 year people? Where are the people that are learning this business, that are learning the skill sets, learning the mindsets, progressing, moving forward, overcoming their personal beliefs, and moving forward and progressing? Where are all the 2 to 10 year people? They're not there as a collective, and that to me is horrifying. It should be horrifying to any leader that's watching this, because the numbers are the numbers. So again, that's something that I really want you to think about before we really get into the training, because what has your philosophy been up to this point? Where are the 2 to 10 year people in your personal organization? What does that look like? Are they progressing? Are they starting like as a cashier at the McDonald's, and are they progressing up through the ranks to get to where they are the manager of the McDonald's? Because that's how real teams are developed in the real world, not in network marketing. Network marketing has been throwing enough mud on the wall, see what sticks. And it's been 3%ers. They have to find other 3%ers who find other 3%ers to have a chance of creating any type of real business. This program is going to eliminate that for you if I can open your mind enough to hear the training that you're going to get ready to hear. The training you're going to get ready to hear, again, was done many years ago, before the internet. It was responsible for developing, on my personal team, well over 200 full-time income earners, and the philosophies have helped thousands over the years in multiple different companies all over the world. So what I'm getting ready to share with you, again, it's challenging. It's not mainstream. It's different. It's difficult. It takes a lot more time, energy, and effort, and really caring enough about people to tell them the truth and not what we think they want to hear, so they'll stay on auto ship one more month. But really helping those 27%ers get real with their mindsets and develop the skill sets that will help them develop a real duplicating team. So with that, we're going to go right into the training. I'm going to be breaking in as we go through it, but you're going to see the original training as it was recorded over about 25 or so years ago. I have never been accused. I've been accused of a lot of things and called a lot of things in this business. Being politically correct has never been one of them. So I'm just giving you a heads up on that. But I hope that what you're getting ready to see will speak volumes to you. One other thing before we get into it. If you just stop and think about this. 20-year-old snot-nosed kid, me, sponsor quit 2 weeks after I joined, and then I was in the industry for 5 years, got out, never going to do it again, was in traditional direct sales. Then I got involved back in the industry, went to the top in 18 months, was going to make $250,000 a year. That company's still in business. I was making $250,000 a year when I left. If I never left my house, fully qualified for life. And I quit all that and started over to do something from nothing. And in 5 years, we went from zero to over $100 million in wholesale sales. And again, I'd been out of the industry for over 5 years when we started. So we literally went from zero to $100 million in wholesale sales. And you know, if you do nothing but think about that as you watch this training and understand we were about 2 years in when this training was actually filmed, you'll kind of see how that happened. How did that type of explosive growth, more explosive than Herbalife when Herbalife started, you know, how did it happen? And it happened because of this. This is the leadership development philosophy. Not the get them in, keep them on auto ship philosophy, the leadership development philosophy. You know, an entrepreneur that New York Times bestseller, unbelievable entrepreneur, a lot of people have heard of, Gary Vee. Gary talks about he took his family business from zero to 60 million in 5 years. And that was a traditional business, which is quite a feat. So again, what you're seeing was a couple years into the growth of a company that went from zero to 100 million in 5 years, with the majority of people involved in that company had never been involved in network marketing, or if they had little to zero success. So think about that. I'm just trying to everything I can to open up your mind to what you're getting ready to see. It ain't never been done before. You've never seen it before, but if you can adopt it, it'll take whatever you are capable of doing as far as building a team and multiply it 10 times. I sincerely believe that. One other thing I need to share with you, because people are going to ask, Dale, why are you introducing this now? You know, because you've never made this public. The number one question is, the industry, in my opinion, needs it now more than ever. The second question, Dale, is this different from anything that you've ever done? No. No. If you're familiar with my training and the 5 core fundamentals, get it launched, customer acquisition with a retail to recruit mentality, a 2-step recruiting process, play 1, play 2, let them hear the whole story, a retention system, and then just the rest is just generating leads. It's no different than what, if you've been on my webinars in the last 10, 15, 20 years, you've heard that. What this will do, I hope, will give you a deeper picture from when we were right in the middle of developing a lot. A lot of this, what you're going to hear, you've heard bits and pieces of it or parts of it at different times if you've ever heard me at all. And the real reason that this came out of the archives after 25 plus years is about a year ago, some of you may know that we had a fire in our office in Kentucky. Extremely disruptive. Operating multiple businesses out of that office. And, so we've had to go through the warehouse and just trying to get through a lot of stuff that I probably should have went through years ago. But one of the trainings that we pulled was this leadership development philosophy. And at the time we were living in a hotel, and we were going through, what is all this? What is this CD? What's that CD? And one day, I don't remember, I'd been out, came back, and my wife Dawn was on the bed and she's watching it, and she said, Dale, this is the best training, some of the best training I've ever seen you do. She said, this is phenomenal. So I sit there and just watched it with her, and I literally think, I'm almost positive, that's the first time I'd ever seen it. We did it, we recorded it, the producer produced it, we got it out to our team, but I knew what was on it, so I rarely listen or watch my own stuff, and I'm going through and I think, man, how true is that? What if the industry had understood that 25 years ago when I was trying to communicate? How true is that? And I think that I hope that by hearing, the one thing that you've gotten from me since I've ever been public is consistency. Because I believe wisdom is wisdom. Wisdom is wisdom. Wisdom of the ages is wisdom of the ages. It's not going to change. I believe that the only way teams are developed in the real world is systems, step by step, sequentially. You can't teach algebra to somebody who hasn't learned basic addition yet. So that's the way the real world works. But network marketing, there was a time 15, 20 years ago when traditional business people would look on network marketing from afar and respect it, and respect the leadership, and respect the companies. And in the entrepreneurial world, network marketing was very respected because of the personal development world in which network marketing came out of. Today, entrepreneur-minded people look at the network marketing industry and think they've all gone crazy. Bunch of people talking about that which they don't know. Every other month they're promoting the newest, greatest product on social media. These people are all nuts. And you know what? I agree. I absolutely agree. I think that it's gotten so far away from the fundamentals on which it was built that we've created a whole world of challenges that don't need to be there. So in releasing this now, I'm hoping that there'll be people that are up and coming leaders, or people that have been leaders for a while, will really rethink their philosophy and ask themselves, what is my philosophy? Does it need do I need to rethink what I'm doing? I don't care if you've been around as long as I have, because if enough people rethink the philosophy and start focusing on building people, then I think it can make a huge impact on the industry as a whole. So with that, promise you, I'm done. We're getting right into the training. I'll be back with you and break in later on, but let's get started with the original 1997 leadership development philosophy, putting the pieces of the network marketing puzzle together.
I guess I got to do something to keep you awake this afternoon. We got a lot to cover in a short period of time. I'm going to go as quick as I can, then we're going to take a short break, and then we'll come back and finish. What kind of business are we in? What kind of business are we in? Leadership development. People don't mean squat. There's a lot of people out there that are duds. We're in the leadership development business. Who moves products? Leadership moves products. Distributors come and go. If you're going to build a successful business, it must be built on developing leadership. You develop yourself first. You develop your leadership skills and talents and abilities through duplication, unity, and systematic trainings. Once you have done that and you've developed yourself first through unity and through systematic trainings, concepts, ideas, then and only then can you turn around and teach those to somebody else. It starts with you learning so you can teach. If you don't have leadership, you have nothing. Distributors come and go in New Image International every month. Your job is to find, train, develop leadership. Leadership moves products. If you can get that in your mind, and every action that you take is centered around that, it's amazing what will happen in your organization. Some of you are whining and groaning and worrying about people that have absolutely zero leadership. They're never going to do it. All they're going to do is waste your time and your energy and your mind power. I dealt with them for my first 3 years in this business. I could talk them into doing it. At least I could talk them into signing up. But they didn't do anything after I got them there. I figured out I'd rather find 2 good ones a year than sponsor 100 duds. I realized that we asked you guys to take a lot of this business on faith. A lot of what we teach, you don't understand why we teach it. But those of you that have been here for a while, will you agree that the longer you're in the business, the more you start to understand? Yes. And see, I know for a lot of you, when you first come in the program and you start looking at New Image, you start listening to the tapes, it's like this. It's like you're looking at all these little pieces. You think, oh my gosh, I got to put that together? Look at all these pieces. How in the world could I ever do that? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And see, you start looking at these pieces. And see, if I ask any of you to come up here and take this box with all these pieces and put it together, what's the first thing that you need to know? The picture, right? See, you can't put this together if you don't know what you're putting together. See, there's no picture. If I just hand you this with no picture, you're going to have a problem. See, you've got to have the picture. Are you following me? Yes. Today, I'm going to show you the picture. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you what it looks like. Now, from this point, that's what the picture looks like. But if you really want to see the picture, Carol Ely and Carol and Roy, Jim and Kathy Jones, Roger and Rhonda, Phil and Barbara, stand up. Wherever y'all are at, stand up. There's Roger back there, wearing my daggone new jacket I just bought last week. He's got it on. Guys, get what I'm getting ready to tell you. The finished picture, the finished puzzles, people that complete the puzzles, they'll be the first to tell you that they never quite complete it. You only get 95%. Because those people continue to learn, grow, and develop. You're green, you grow. If you're ripe, you rot. But you look at these people right here, and there's your finished puzzles. these four because I spent a lot of years with these people. I spent a lot of hours, a lot of time. And see, I saw Carol when she started. You know, I saw where she was. And I've seen her put piece by puzzle, piece by puzzle. I've seen her go from a housewife to over $10,000 a month, to have the leadership, to understand this business. I've seen with Roger go from an electrician, frustrated, burnt out, to putting those pieces together, piece by piece, frustration by frustration. And Jim and Kathy and Phil and Barbara, I have these two guys. It's a wonder dealing with them that I'm still here today. Headstrong, 3%ers, knew it all. And man, I had wore them out with 2x4s. I'm surprised they haven't punched me out at times. But I'd get them in the car for 2 hours and wear them out because they needed it. But to see them where they are today and understand it, finally, they started to understand the puzzles. Put this one together, piece by piece by piece. Then you do this one, and finally, you're there. See, you have the people to look up to. You have the people that I know because I've spent the time, energy, and effort. And we all going to have to travel the same road. You can't do it without putting your pieces together. You got to get that in your mind. I'd like all the nationals to stand. All the nationals. When we started this company, we had one goal: to create the most unified field leadership team in the history of network marketing. That was our goal. You look at these people, there's no group of national directors, top leaders in any company that has the unity, the love, and the bond that this group has. You should be thankful for every one of them. Give them a hand. I want to share something with you, and this is a thought, and I want to get this out, and I hope this comes across correctly. I hear people a lot of times talking about, well, if my people aren't going to do it Dale's way, then I don't want them doing it. Or if they aren't going to do it the new image way. You hear that terminology. If I have a gift, it is the ability to spend a short period of time with people and get a pretty good snapshot of where they're coming from. If I have one, I can sit and talk with somebody, and I can get a pretty good feel. I can learn more about people in about 15 minutes than most people can in a few months. I don't know why. I think it's because all my life I've been intrigued by people, by people's stories, by where they come from, why they think the way they think. I've lived my life inside here most of my life, not outside there. I've sat back and observed, and I've watched, and I've listened. And in this business, I want you all to understand that we do not teach Dale's way, we do not teach the new image way. We don't teach that. See, what I've been able to do, I feel like in the last few years, is figure out the way it is. Not my way, just the way it is. See, the way it is you have to do a 3-day, 14, 29-day call. I wish you didn't have to. But that's just the way it is. Because if you don't, most people will take it for 6 days. They haven't lost 12 pounds, so they quit taking it. Right. See, that's just the way it is. Period. Are you following what I'm saying? I don't like doing the calls any more than you do. I feel like maybe it is a waste of time. But I'm telling you what, if you don't do it, you're going to lose a ton of people. That's just the way it is. Are you following what I'm saying? See, I don't know why it is that the more you talk, the less they believe what you're saying. I don't know why you got to shut up and just hand them the daggone videotape, but that's just the way it is. Are you understanding what I'm saying? I have not created anything. I just sit back and observed over the years the way it is from doing it wrong so much. Are you following me? Yes. You know what bothers me is when people make the same mistakes I've made. over and over and over. You know, you can make it once, you can make it twice, but some of you have been making the same mistakes for 2 years. When you going to quit doing that? You understand? Figure out the way it is and work with it. Everybody wish it was easier. It's not going to get any easier. People are stupid. Most people haven't used their mind in years. Look at your relatives. I don't know why. I'm not saying they're bad people. I'm saying most of the time they're good people. They're honest people. They're people that you love. But you aren't going to build a business with somebody that hadn't engaged their brain in years. You cannot do it. Trying to get Uncle Joe off the couch. He's happy on the couch. Leave him on the couch. You aren't going to build a business with him.
Hey, it's Dale. I'm back with you on section 1. I just want to share a couple of comments. The main point that I was trying to share in this session is the number one mistake made by people that are active and in the marketplace, especially newbies on your team, is they're going to go into the market and they're going to talk too much. They're going to talk too much. And as leaders, we have to let people understand this business is about finding the right people at the right time in their life. And if you can send people into the marketplace with that understanding that, look, we're just going to get this launched. We're practicing right now. You know, for most of the people, it's not about them buying, selling, or joining your team. It's not about that. It's about finding the right people at the right time in their life. I recently released a memory jogger training we'll put in the bonus section for you guys, because one of the things when people hear memory jogger, they think I'm going to make a list and then I'm going to go out and I'm going to see who on my list will buy or who on my list will join me. That's not the right philosophy. You're not going to move forward like that. It's about who do they know. It's about who do they know. When you launch a business, it's not talking so much that they join you. It's asking a few questions to figure out who right now do they know is a perfect prospect for your product or service or to join your team. It's not about convincing people to buy, sell, or join. It's about figuring out who do you know, not talking too much. It's the number one mistake. It was the number one mistake made when I started. It'll be the number one mistake made 55 years from now in this profession. So that's kind of what I was really trying to communicate. And next, what I'm going to share with you, what you'll see in the live event, is 4 very important philosophies that I believe all teams must be built upon. It's the rock on which to build your team. 4 philosophies. I hope you'll enjoy this section.